very good morning to all my dear students. Today we'll start a new lesson in the Maths Magic. But before that, I would like to ask you, how are you all, my dear children? I hope you all are fine and safe at home, and your family members are also fine and safe. So, dear children, we have already completed one lesson in the Maths. Today we'll be starting a new lesson in the Maths, that is your lesson number 8. Who is heavier? That means here we are going to study about the weight of the solid things. How do we weigh the solid things? मतलब कि जो solid things होते हैं उनको कैसे वेट करते हैं, ग्राम में, किलोग्राम में, मिलीग्राम में, centigram. There are many units to weigh the weight. So today in this lesson we are going to study about the different types of weights, which looks heavier, which looks bigger in size. कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी होती जो क्वांटिटी वाइज बहुत ज़्यादा होती हैं बट वेट वाइज वो बहुत कम होती है बिकॉज द साइज ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट इज सच दैट इट लुक्स वेरी बिग बट एक्चुअली इट इज़ लेस इन वेट एंड द क्वांटिटी वाइज ऑल्सो इट कम्स मोर कंपेयर टू द अदर सॉलिड थिंग्स. द वेट इज इक्वल बट वेन यू सी द पैकेट्स ऑफ बोथ द ऑब्जेक्ट्स you will see that one objects look bigger and the other packet looks smaller because of the object. जो हल्की वस्तु होती है वही सेम अमाउंट, if it is 500 grams है तो 500 grams of potatoes and 500 grams of popcorns, if you say the popcorn will be 500 grams, very big packet of popcorn will be there, whereas potatoes will be only few potatoes will be there in the bag. So that way the quantity is same but because of the material of the object is different, the bags will be totally different. As you can see here, the object is given groundnut and gur. So gur, which is a heavy solid object, so the same amount of groundnut is there and same amount of gur is there, or the jaggery is there, but you can see the groundnut packet looks quite big compared to the packet of jaggery or the gur. Now all of you will first write here today's date, 18/12 2020 and classwork, and then start your work. Now gur or jaggery and groundnuts. Now this is the example that is given here. Shabnam loved to eat jaggery or gur and the groundnuts. One day she bought 1 kg of jaggery and 1 kg of groundnuts. You know that the kilogram is always written as kg. Now kilogram का जो short form होता है, short form of kilogram is written as kg. So, dear children, Shabnam bought 1 kg. This is your 1 kg of groundnut, that means your मूंगफली, and 1 kg of gur, that is your jaggery. Now दोनों ही 1 kg है, but देखिए groundnut कितने ज़्यादा लगते हैं 1 kg में और गुड़ कितना कम लगता है, क्योंकि ये बहुत ज़्यादा सॉलिड ऑब्जेक्ट है तो इसकी क्वांटिटी कम आएगी और ये हल्का है तो ये ज़्यादा आएगा. Oh, the groundnut looks so much more than the jaggery. But when you will weigh the things, then both the things will be same. मतलब कि जो बैलेंस होगा जिसमें हम weigh करेंगे या weighing machine में वो एकदम बैलेंस्ड आएगा. Are the groundnuts really more than the jaggery or the gur in weight? So they look or they look more. No, they just look like more. तो ऐसे ही ज़्यादा दिखते हैं but they are of the same weight. Now guess for which of these you need a bigger bag. 1 kg of popcorn or 1 kg of sugar. So obviously for popcorn you will need more bags. जब हम weigh करते हैं कोई भी चीज़ को तो जो हल्की चीज़ होती है वो ज़्यादा आती है क्वांटिटी में, उतनी ही क्वांटिटी में वो ज़्यादा आती है, और जो सॉलिड चीज़ें होती हैं, जो एकदम भारी चीज़ें होती हैं, वो वही उतने ही वेट में वो कम आती हैं. 1 kg of peas और and 1 kg of potatoes. Now 1 kg of popcorn के लिए आपको ज़्यादा बड़ा बैग चाहिए और 1 kg of peas मतलब मटर और 1 kg of potatoes. So obviously potatoes के comparison में peas जो है वो ज़्यादा आएंगे और potatoes कम आएंगे. So for peas you need a bigger bag and for popcorn also you need bigger bag. Now go to the market and check whether this is right or wrong. When you go to buy vegetables with your mom, just check it out once when you buy peas and potatoes, that how many peas have come in comparison to the potatoes that you buy with the same quantity. Now here pumpkin, tomato, panga. Now you all have seen this is a pumpkin जिसको हम कद्दू बोलते हैं, और tomatoes तो you all know tomatoes you all have seen. तो ये जो pumpkin और tomato के बीच में एक अच्छा सा जो है लड़ाई होती है, छोटी सी क्यूट सी लड़ाई है, स्वीट सी लड़ाई है कि pumpkin जो है एक दिन सीसॉ पर बैठता है. Now first we'll read it, then I'll explain. This is the playground where tomatoes came to play every day. Now they were playing on the seesaw. One day a big pumpkin comes and sits on the one side of the seesaw. When he does not get up for a long time, the tomatoes decided to sit on the other side and lift the pumpkin up so that he falls off. The little tomatoes starts climbing on to the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 25. Oh, the pumpkin is still sitting and laughing. So the big tomatoes decided to help the little ones get down and make the way for the fat ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 20. We move on to page number 114. In this, as I told you, there's a small fighting, sweet fighting between a potato and a pumpkin. So potatoes always used to come and play in a ground. One day a pumpkin came. Now they were all tomatoes, they all used to play on the seesaw. But one day a pumpkin came and sat on the seesaw. Now, as you all know that compared to the tomatoes, pumpkin is very, very big vegetable. Tomatoes are small and pumpkin is quite big, as you can see in the picture also. So this pumpkin sat on the seesaw, but he could not lift himself up because it has a lot of weight. And in the seesaw, the one which is heavier goes down and the lighter is at the other end, which is on the upside. तो यहाँ पर जो होता है हल्का वजन वाला होता है, जो नीचे होता है वो भारी वजन वाला होता है. तो वैसे ही पंपकिन के साथ क्या हुआ, पंपकिन नीचे की तरफ आ गया और सारे टोमेटोज ने सोचा कि अब हम तो खेल ही नहीं सकते, ये पंपकिन उठ ही नहीं रहा है. तो दे ऑल थॉट ऑफ doing something so that the pumpkin goes off from that seesaw. So they wanted to balance in such a way that they all go down and this pumpkin goes up. That means they wanted to increase their weight. So one by one all the tomatoes started sitting on this seesaw and their number came up to 25. But the pumpkin was still there, only it was not moving. That means the weight of pumpkin was still more than those 25 tomatoes. Now then all the bigger tomatoes that were there, that they decided to help the smaller ones. So they also started sitting on it as 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 20. That means 25 small tomatoes and 20 big tomatoes together, they all sat on the pumpkin. Yay, the pumpkin is up in there. It shouts and bring me down please. Now a total of 45 tomatoes sat on this side of the seesaw. Then what happened? All the tomatoes are there and down and the pumpkin was up. That means now the weight of the tomatoes was more than the weight of the pumpkin. That is why they had gone down and the pumpkin had come up. Now the pumpkin was shouting that bring me down, otherwise I will fall. So that means the heavier one, the things which are heavier goes down and the things which are lighter goes up. When you weigh also, जब आप वजन करते हैं या कोई भी चीज़ खरीदते हैं जो वजन से खरीदते हैं, वेट करते हैं, तो आप देखेंगे कि जब वेट रखा होता है और एक तरफ खाली एम्प्टी होता है बास्केट, तो जब वो जो वेट वाला होता है वो नीचे होता है. लेकिन जैसे जैसे हम वो एम्प्टी बास्केट में सामान हम रखना शुरू करते हैं तो धीमे धीमे जो है वो जो जो एम्प्टी वाला जो है वो थोड़ा थोड़ा ऊपर आता है. अल्टीमेटली जब लेवल हो जाता है चीज़ों का तो वो एक लेवल पर दोनों एक साथ होते हैं. सो हियर द वेट ऑफ टमेटोज वाज नाउ मोर देन द वेट ऑफ द pumpkins. So that means the heavier goes down and lighter comes up. Now if we move on to page number 115, how many small tomatoes did you think could lift off the pumpkin? This is just a guess that 10, 20 or 40. So how many tomatoes will together lift up a pumpkin? It is a 40 tomatoes that can roughly lift up a pumpkin. That means for the weight of 40 tomatoes would be nearly equal to the weight of the one pumpkin. Now how many big mangoes can balance the pumpkin? Now you can see this is one mango that is there and pumpkin is down, but you need at least how many mangoes of this weight or this size to raise the pumpkin? Nearly 20 mangoes will be needed. Now guess here, guess means आपको अंदाज़ा लगाना है. How many pumpkins can balance you on the seesaw? Means what is your weight, and according to your weight you have to write. I have written here at least I need 4 pumpkins to balance my weight. Now this is an activity. If you wish you can do, otherwise you can leave. That you have to name your classmates or think of the person who is of your weight, almost the same as you. आपके weight, आपके जितने लगभग weight वाले आपके classmate का आपको यहाँ पर नाम लिखना है. आपसे ज़्यादा जिसका weight है उसका नाम लिखना है, और आपसे कम जिसका weight है उसका यहाँ पर आपको नाम लिखना है. If you know, you write, otherwise you leave. Now we move on to page number 116, double her weight. Now again there's a small story in this. Bharti's parents have a different way of celebrating the Independence Day because Bharti was born that day. Now Bharti's parents are celebrating Independence Day in a different way. Why? Because it is Bharti's birthday also. So they are doing something different, and Independence Day also. So they want to celebrate both. They have buy sweets double of Bharti's age and distribute them among the poor people. Now what her parents do is, as it is Bharti's birthday, they buy the sweets of double of Bharti's weight. Whatever is the Bharti's age that year, they take the sweets double of her weight. If her weight is 2 kilos, they take 4 kilos of sweets. If her weight is 5 kilos, they take 10 kgs of sweet. That way, and then they distribute these sweets to the poor people. When Bharti was born, her weight was 3 kgs. That means they distributed the sweets of 6 kg. जब भारती का weight 3 kgs था तो उन्होंने कितने लड्डू distribute किए? They distributed 6 kgs of laddus. 3 kgs this and 3 kgs is double है, मतलब 2 times 3 kgs, that is 6 kgs. Today is Independence Day and Kanjuma is 5 years old. She is 28 kgs now. Now guess her weight and the amount of sweets her parents distributed every Independence Day. Now here Bharti's age is given, Bharti's weight is given, and amount of sweets that are distributed is given. The first example is given at birth. As you all know that she was 3 kgs of weight. Double her age means 3 plus 3 weight, that is 3 plus 3 6 kgs. When she was 1 year old, her weight was 9 kgs. When Bharti was 1 year old, what was her weight? Her weight was 9 kgs. So double the weight is 9 plus 9, that means 18 kgs of sweets they distributed when she was 1 year old. अब जब भारती 2 साल की हुई तो उसका वजन कितना है ये हमको निकालना है. यहाँ पर क्या दिया है? 13 plus 13 is equal to 26. दैट मीन्स उसके वेट का डबल. यहाँ 26 है तो उसका वेट क्या होगा? उसका आधा होगा. 13 kgs of weight भारती had when she was 2 years old. Now Bharti was 3 years old, तब उसका वेट 17 kgs था. तो how many kgs of sweets they distributed? 17 plus 17 is equal to 34 kgs of sweet they distributed. Bharti was 4 years old, her weight was 22 kgs. Because here it is not given, here हमको ऐसे रफली एक आइडिया निकालना है कि 22, जैसे यहाँ 13 kgs हुआ, फिर 17 kgs हुआ, अब 22 kgs. 22 plus 22 is equal to 44 kgs. And when she was 5 years old, her weight was 28 kgs. So 28 plus 28 is equal to 56 kilograms. ये जो है हमने एक रफ गेस किया है, क्योंकि लास्ट में 22 है, इधर 17 है, तो हमने बीच का फिगर रखा है 22. एवरेज ऑन एन एवरेज वी हैव फाउंड आउट द वेट की हर वेट मस्ट बी 22 kgs व्हेन शी वाज 4 years old. नाउ यू कैन आस्क योर पेरेंट्स हाउ मच ओल्ड अ 2 year old और अ 4 year child कुड वे. मतलब कि एक अंदाजे से आपको एक पूछना है, अपने पेरेंट्स से पूछिए कि एक 2 साल का बच्चे का वेट कितना हो सकता है और एक 4 साल के बच्चे का वेट नॉर्मली क्या होता है. नाउ यू हैव टू गेस योर ओन वेट. आपका खुद का वेट कितना है, दैट यू हैव टू राइट. दैट इज आई हैव रिटन 30 kgs. Now dear children, in the textbook we will be doing up to page number 116. The remaining pages we will be doing on the next turn, but now we'll start with the workbook.